Hololive Productions have been able to garner a cast of extremely talented individuals capable of bettering their brand. The latest addition to their roster is Hololive device Regloss, or Regloss, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce it, which is composed of 5 Japanese-speaking talent. Nowadays, HoloPro is focusing on building on their already established demographics, with their latest expansion attempt debuting a year ago with Holstars English. Male streamers whose audience are male VTuber enthusiasts that spoke the English language, which made me curious. If Hololive were to expand even more, where should they do it? Disclaimer, I don't really think that Hololive should expand this way. I think they are able to reach their market with the branches they have right now already, which are Hololive and Holstars Japan, Hololive and Holstars English, and Hololive Indonesia. But just for the sake of discussion, let's just say that they want to branch out Holo into an entirely new place. These are the new Hololive branches that might be the best candidates. Hololive Indonesia is doing pretty good right now, so why not expand more in Southeast Asia? Since they already have a market in that region, especially in countries like Malaysia and the Philippines, it might be profitable for them to expand the Hololive Indonesia branch into the Hololive Southeast Asia branch instead. First, the positives. As I said earlier, they already have a pretty big market in this region, and there's reason to believe that there is genuine demand for Hololive talents that come from Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, and etc. Southeast Asia is super populated, and countries there are very fond of anime. Personally, as a fan of Hololive who lives in the sea region, it'll be quite nice if I could watch more streams in my language during the afternoon when the English branches are offline. But there is quite a big counter argument to this, and that is the fact that Southeast Asia is quite a diverse region with vastly different cultures and languages. Due to this, chemistry of gens inside the branches might be messed up or something. Hololive Indonesia's main demographic are Bahasa Indonesia speakers and English speakers. If they expand that into Holo C, so many languages are gonna get added and integrated that it might end up as a clunky mess that doesn't know who to actually cater to. Add the fact that Hololive and anime isn't that famous in all of the countries included in C anyways, so Hololive C's demand might not be that high in the first place. Okay, I know what you guys are about to comment down. Niji-sanji failed in Korea already. You gotta be super dumb to think that Hololive is gonna be any different. But you know what? Maybe I am super dumb. But I think Hololive has an edge over Niji-sanji when it comes to creating a VTuber boom in Korea. And that is idol culture. Japanese idols and Korean idols are very different from one another. From what I've gathered, idols in Japan are more focused on interaction with fans, while in Korea, idols are more centered around quality of performance and such. In Japan, idols are seen as different from artists, and skills are only expected from artists. Japanese fans only expect cuteness from idols, but in Korea, viewers don't give leniency to idol groups, and they are challenged to compete against global idols. This was said by a culture critic named Ha Jae-kun. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Explaining how different expectations are with the two countries' idols. So in my opinion, it would be sick if Cover could create Hololive Korea under the premise that they'll heavily lean on being virtual K-pop idols that meet the standards of the more critical Korean fans. This is probably the riskiest endeavor in this video though, since even though Hololive does focus on music and performances too, the main focus has always been live streaming and interacting with fans through said live streams. So I imagine this would be a very costly failure if they do risk it and crash and burn. But K-pop is very big worldwide, anime is already pretty famous in Korea, and Hololive device Regloss seems like they are already focusing more on the music side of being an idol. I think that's how I understand their entire branch, I'm not sure though. So there might be both a supply and a demand that they can work with here. Hololive English already has Korean members too, with Orochrony and Ninumai Inanis. So who's to say they can't bring the very intriguing idea of virtual VTuber idols into new heights in Korea? But yeah, the very big downside of this is again the very big risk that they'll have to take, Like, bigger than Shinri's tits big. It's that big. Spanish or Espanol is the fourth most spoken language in the world, with a bunch of countries from different continents using the language. This is why it's pretty enticing to take a dip in that market, specifically in Latin America. Anime is pretty famous there. Some even say that anime was first famous in Latin America before it became famous in other parts of the Americas. But the most important argument that makes HoloES probably the best candidate for Holo expansion is that there is already a tried and tested market for VTubers in that demographic. Everybody already knows about Iron Mouse, a Puerto Rican streamer from VShojo that has a genuine case on being the best female streamer of today. But it's not just her, there's also Nemo Space Cat, a Latina VTuber that has a total of 4.1 million subscribers and followers across YouTube and Twitch. And that's not even scratching the surface of Spanish-speaking VTubers thriving in the market right now. Heck, Hololive Productions already has Banzuin Haka, a Spanish-speaking male VTuber who is very cool, I might add. So yeah, why not create Holo Espanol? Actually, I can't think of any reasons on why HoloES would be a bad idea, but in the end, it is still a pretty big risk to debut an entirely new branch of Hololive, even if it's super enticing like Hololive Espanol. Most Spanish-speaking VTubers also speak English too, so I guess there is an argument to be said about just integrating HoloES with HoloEN, but I think that's a wasted opportunity to actually give the growing Spanish-speaking VTuber community a Hololive branch they can call their own. Out of all the entries in this video, I think this one is probably my favorite, and if Cover ever does decide to expand to a new demographic, I think Hololive Spanish is their best choice. But again, I'm not saying that Hololive should expand, like, they're doing pretty good right now, and taking big risks like the ones I said in this video are probably not what they need. You guys probably have better ideas on where Hololive should expand to, so don't be afraid to comment it down for some fun discussions in the comment section. Hopefully. But if they do debut Hololive Philippines, for example, or whatever, I'm sure a lot of Hololive fans are gonna be there supporting them from day one. For the Philippines, probably not, but whatever.